Okay, you guys. So we have Kirk's daughter, Kelsey, meeting up with Jasmine because Kirk had texted Kelsey, letting her know about Jasmine popping up on him and Rashida at Rashida's after party and everything down there in Texas. And Kelsey wants to figure out pretty much what was going through Jasmine's head and why she did that. And she also wants to meet her little brother because I guess she figures that somebody has to step up to the plate at this point in regards to the little boy. So, her and Jasmine are having a conversation at Jasmine's house. And, she's like, I heard about you going down there to Texas and everything, popping up on my stepmom and my dad or whatever. Like, what made you go down there and everything? And Jasmine is like, once again that she feels as though that she owed Rashida the apology and everything. And the last time that she saw Kirk, was at the lawyer's office, and how he was saying that how he was going to be there in the child's life and everything, but he hasn't stepped up to the plate yet, so she doesn't know like what the issue is. And Kelsey is like, well, you got to understand, you got to be patient and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to fix his family or whatever. And then Jasmine, she kind of interrupted and was like, but Cannon is family and everything. And Kelsey was pretty much like, okay, girl, but you sat up here and did what you did with my dad and everything, you know what I'm saying, knowing that he was married and all this other stuff. So you just have to, be patient and, wait for him to get things back in order in his household or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much that your situation is not going to be easy because of how Cannon came about or whatever, So Kelsey says that that she is ready to meet him and everything. And so Jasmine brings Cannon from the other room or whatever, and he instantly was reaching out to Kelsey and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, even more of a reason why we side-eye this whole situation, because the fact that he just was holding his arms out to her with such ease as if he done met her before already. I was just like, but whatever. So anyways, it was cute to see Kelsey playing with him or whatever. But anyway, so moving on, we have Tommy back in Atlanta. She's meeting up with she's meeting up at the producer's office or whatever. This is our first time seeing her on camera since, the whole incident happened where, Rashida was inviting all the girls to go to Texas and everything. And, she's meeting at the production office with this guy named Joe. And Joe is a substance abuse expert. And Joe, he's talking to her about the incident and everything that took place. And he's saying that it seems like a lot of these incidents with you happen when you're drinking, you know what I'm saying? And that's when she starts to explain about how alcoholism runs in her family and how it is like embarrassing for her and everything. And she says that she kind of is shy, so that so she drinks to be more social or whatever, this, that, and the third. And he's like, well, what else does it do for you, you know what I'm saying? And she says that it helps her cope, which is what we kind of already know. And she's saying how she doesn't have a lot of support, or whatever, her beefing with her mom and her sister and all this other stuff. And how she feels like everything is on her because she's the one trying to do everything for everybody, and she just feels like she just really has no one in return. And she's saying that she's not proud of what she did, at, the luncheon that Rashida had for them or whatever, this, that, and the third, especially getting into it. I guess she was saying the particular producer that she had attacked or whatever, she did have like, a close relationship with him. So she did feel really bad about, doing that or whatever. And, he's explaining to her, the guy Joe is explaining to her, your drinking has created a lot of situations that is not good for the show and your cast members and all this other stuff. And Joe tells her straight up, you can't drink no more on the show, you know what I'm saying? And Tommy is still in denial about her being an alcoholic. She does admit that she needs to get in control of her anger and all this other stuff, but she's just persistent on not admitting that she's an alcoholic and everything, or that she has issues with alcohol. And so she does get kind of emotional, saying that she don't want her mom to die before she can make her proud of her and all this other stuff, despite how everybody might feel about her mom and everything. That's still her mom, and she still loves her or whatever. And Joe tells her, I know this is not what you want to hear, but you do have a drinking problem. You know what I'm saying? And he, and she tells him that, she's going to prove him wrong and everything. So then later on, we have Tommy meeting up, with her mom, and with no alcoholic beverages. So she's meeting up with her mom, and Sam is saying, how I want everybody to get along and everything, so I did invite Versace or whatever. So Tommy is cool about it and everything, especially because of the fact that all she gonna be drinking is ginger ale. Okay, that's the only buzz she gonna be getting at this point. So anyways, Versace shows up. And Tommy explains to her that we always had like a sister relationship and everything, this, that, and the third. So the situation that we went through, you did hurt me or whatever. And Versace, she did apologize, and she kind of got emotional. But I felt like Tommy should have apologized too for her part in the situation. But I mean, they made some type of progress, so I guess beggars can't be choosers. But anyway, so Tommy is telling them about, how Rashida had invited her and the other girls to go to Texas or whatever, but she kind of, fucked that up by getting, real drunk and everything, this, that, and the third, and how she kind of attacked some people on production and whatnot. And she tells them about the guy Joe and how he said that she's an alcoholic and everything. And her mom Sam and Versace, they had said something or whatever, and then Tommy was like, would you let somebody tell you that you're an alcoholic? And Sam was like, I mean, yeah, because sometimes I do feel that way. If I gotta sit up here and get up in the morning and fix me a drink just to function and all this other stuff, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And she was saying that we have to break this cycle or whatever, because alcoholism does run in our family and everything. And she says that she's felt pain from her drinking, which is why she decided to quit or whatever. And Tommy is like, what you mean pain or whatever? So she explains that she went to the doctor or whatever, and she's not sure exactly what's wrong yet, because they're still running a bunch of tests and everything. But she's hoping that maybe this will be a wake-up call for Tommy or whatever, and for her to quit drinking, or at least try to slow down or whatever. And so of course Tommy, she's in her confessional, she's emotional because she just feels really ridiculous about everything that her and her mom went through or whatever. And I just hope whatever it is with Samantha, I hope it's not anything that's like too serious or whatever. But regardless, I do hope that this does wake Tommy up into realizing that, hey, maybe I do need to, slow down here with the alcohol and everything. But yeah, I really hope that it's not nothing too serious with Samantha. So anyways, the episode actually picked up where it left off from last week, which was at, the campfire. And, with, Sierra and Estelita still kind of going back and forth and everything. And Estelita, she was like, girl, you not about that, so stop it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, when did you become about it, Estelita? You know what I'm saying? I told y'all last week, when did Estelita become such a tough girl here? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was just like, okay, girl. And so Sean, he kind of, intervenes, and he's trying to, he's trying to tell them, we're just trying to be peaceful here and everything. And Estelita is like, well, she's the one who's saying we can get it in any day or whatever. And I'm so glad Erica called Estelita out. I was like, thank you, Erica. Because Erica was like, girl, but you was the one who sat up here and said that she could get popped or whatever. So what are you talking about right now? I'm like, Estelita, you and Spice must have a real problem, or real short-term memory loss, and not remembering what the fuck y'all done did or said to, make a person say or do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, I guess I could see why you and Spice is such good friends. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so yeah, I was glad that Erica called her out on that or whatever. And Sierra is like, you know what, you right. I'm not about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a businesswoman. Something that Estelita can't relate to. You know what I'm saying? But, she's like, I'm a businesswoman. I did all that beef and whatnot in my youth and everything. And, like I told you guys last week, I did feel like Sierra was kind of being messy with some of the stuff that she had been doing in the last couple of episodes or whatever. Maybe not like maybe she didn't mean to be messy and everything, but she was coming off hypocritical when she's sitting up here jumping down Carly Red's throat or whatever. But yet you kind of doing shit that's similar to Carly Red. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so Rashida, she's like, listen, me and Kirk, y'all know we got real shit going on. His mom just passed, and we had to, put a lot of our bullshit to the side, to be there for each other, to be there for the kids and everything, this, that, and the third. And I mean, pretty much she said all of that to say, like, listen, we got a lot of bullshit going on, and we still managed to somehow put that shit to the side or whatever. And y'all got all this petty, unnecessary bullshit going on. Because like I said before, it really is no reason for Estelita and Sierra to be having this beef. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so, BK, I guess that prompts him to, apologize to all of the women and everything, especially with some of the stuff that he has said or whatever. And Estelita is like, well, you had a lot to say, a lot of name calling, you called me a bitch or whatever. And BK is like, I didn't call you no bitch. He was like, I called you something else, but it wasn't a bitch. But really, when they rolled the tapes back, BK did call her a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But Estelita, my whole thing was, I mean, the man is attempting to apologize, you know what I'm saying? Even though he must probably I guess he don't remember that he did call her a bitch. But he did own up to the fact that he knew that he called her something. Maybe he did forget, considering the fact that he was in the heat of the moment, and he was trying to calm the situation down, although I felt like he should have just been more focused on keeping Sierra calm and everything. So maybe he did forget that he called her a bitch, but he still did acknowledge the fact that he knew that he called her something that was inappropriate, you know what I'm saying? And she just all like in her confessional, well, wait till I get back to Atlanta and tell Stevie about BK calling me a bitch or whatever, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, what the fuck is Stevie J supposed to be doing? Did you not see what him and Nico had girl? I mean, I couldn't do nothing but shake my head, because I'm just like, what do you think Stevie J supposed to be doing? Who the fuck is he? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I was just like, girl, you don't go on somewhere with that bullshit. But anyways, so yeah, it just really was unnecessary. Like, I just don't know who Estelita thinks she is or whatever. Like, yeah, it do seem like at this point she really is just trying to get some camera time or whatever. But anyway, so Spice, she apologizes to everybody for her behavior or whatever earlier that day, and everybody vows to try to have their beef squashed or whatever for the rest of the trip and everything. So the next day, everybody goes horseback riding with the exception of Erica and Tokyo. They ended up staying behind at the cabin or whatever. So, Tokyo, she decides to, cook a big meal for everybody and everything, considering that it's their last night there. And, Erica, she comes into the kitchen or whatever. And, Erica was like, oh, what prompts you to do this? Did the campfire, kumbaya situation prompt you to, cook for everybody and everything? And Tokyo was like, I mean, I just don't want beef with anybody or whatever. Like, I've been there and done that. And, when I get angry or upset, I'm not necessarily upset at the person. I'm upset that I let them get me to that point and rattle my spirit, considering that I done worked so long to, avoid all that and everything. Once again, I can relate to that too. You know what I'm saying? She talks about her childhood and, certain things that has happened in her childhood to kind of make her be the way she is now. Like, she expresses to Erica that, she's 23 and she's a virgin. And Erica, she's like kind of impressed or whatever. She was like, wow, you don't hear that nowadays at your age and everything. And, Erica kind of, wanted to know, like, what kind of, made her, like, I guess be a virgin for so long and everything, because Tokyo has said before, it's not like as if she's waiting out on marriage and everything, this, that, and third. But sometimes being around dudes, it just make her be kind of uncomfortable a little bit or something along them lines that she had said. And Erica, she opened up about the fact that she had been molested and how she went through a domestic violence situation or whatever. And Tokyo, she's saying that she's not quite ready to open up about the things that she been through just yet or whatever. But so Erica, she doesn't pry and everything. She's like, well, listen, you don't have to talk about it right now. You talk about it when you're ready to talk about it. But just, try to find, a better way to deal with things or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, they had, a real moment and everything. And that was cool to see them have. So, back at the horse ranch or whatever, everybody is on their horses at this point. And, Sierra, she ended up losing control of the horse. She's like, oh my God, get me off this thing. Like, she already was, apprehensive about getting on the horse from the jump street or whatever. But, she was trying to be a team player and get on the horse because everybody else was getting on the horse. But, she got on and they trying to tell her, pull back. And she just, she was like, I done had enough. Get me off this thing. So they get her off the horse or whatever. And everybody else kind of, got off their horse so they can, enjoy their picnic or whatever. Carly and Jock, they go off to the side somewhere and they talking about their relationship and everything. And here, go Carly talking about something. I mean, out of all my relationships, you hurt me the worst or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Jock is like, don't say that. And she's like, well, I mean, it's true. And he's like, well, I apologize. I really wasn't trying to be like that and everything, this, that, and the third. And, they talking a little bit more. And then they, walk back over to where the rest of the crew is at and everything. And, they see them and they like, what y'all got going on? What y'all doing? We saw y'all and everything. And, Sean, he makes like this joke or whatever about, Carly looking to get rescued or whatever. And he glad that he dropped her off and everything. And, everybody was laughing or whatever. And so then, because, they did come over there trying to act like as if they did do something at first or whatever. But, trying to rattle everybody up and everything, making them think that they did something or whatever. But they, they didn't do nothing. But, anyways, so, then later on that night, they have dinner. They doing line dancing with the people at the ranch. And, Sierra and Carly, they have a conversation off to the side. And, Sierra's like, listen, I wasn't feeling you or whatever the other day, finding out that you told Spice that Tokyo said fuck her or whatever, this, that, and the third. And, Carly felt as though that Tokyo was going in on her and Spice or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Carly realizes that that's just how Tokyo talks, and she should have just said, fuck the whole situation. I'm like, well, Carly, technically she did. She said, fuck you, fuck Spice, fuck Tobias, fuck everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, that wasn't nothing for you to go back and tell. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So anyways, Sierra, she brings up, Carly's dad, because, she remember hearing Carly say something about her dad the other day and everything. And, Carly is like, I'm fine or whatever, but, I would like for you to check up on me a little bit more because, I need attention. Yeah, we know, Carly, okay? So anyways, and Sierra's like, okay, I could do that or whatever. And, Carly is like, yeah, I know you got BK around and everything, and sometimes, us as women, we get caught up with our men or whatever, this, that, and the third. So as, they continuing to talk, BK, he comes over, and, he wants to, take Sierra away for a minute. And, he takes her away, and, he brings her outside, and, he got, like, these rose petals and, some candles, real big or whatever, saying I love you or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And Sierra, she kind of was like the same way, like, this is cute or whatever, but you can't just think I'm gonna just give in like that or whatever after all the shit that you just took me through. You know what I'm saying? Like, the situation I just got out of, and, I thought I found my lover, my best friend, and, he was like, you thought? And she's like, yeah, because, the situation with Amber and Joy, and he's like, but listen, I already told you the situation with Amber is some bullshit and everything. And, Sierra's like, it just still don't add up to me or whatever. And, BK had asked her about, like, her divorce or whatever, what's the status on that and everything, and she's saying, like, yeah, the papers are in, I just haven't, signed them yet or whatever. And I guess, they gonna continue to work on the relationship or whatever. And then we get Spice teaching the people at the ranch how to twerk and everything. If they, child, you can tell they ain't know nothing about twerking, just as stiff as a goddamn iron board, child. But I was cracking up. But anyways, the next day they showed everybody, leaving the ranch or whatever. Sierra and BK was in the same bed, and Rashida and Kirk was in the same bed. After last week, she gonna sit up here and tell us that they wasn't in the same bed, like as if we didn't know that was some bullshit. But okay, but anyways, and I didn't even talk about that scene last week because I didn't care. But anyways, yeah, this episode wasn't really much, y'all. I know it's some stuff that I didn't talk about, but I really didn't care that much to talk about it. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all come back, and I'll see y'all in the next video. All right, y'all.